Welcome to Round the Bases Roundup. I'm your host, Jordan. How's it going, Boogie?
Good.
Great. That's our intro now. Okay. We got a counter proposal from the Players Association. You could also call it the Players Union. You can call it whatever you want. How about that? So recall, the owner said, just give up more money than you already agreed to. Talked about this a million times now.
Yeah.
They said 82 games.
Yes.
That was kind of the baseline. So the players are saying, we're going to have our full prorated salaries. And we're going to play 114 games. 32 more than the 82.
Okay.
Of course, they want to play more. That means they get more money.
Yeah.
Duh. In fact, this would be 70% of a full season, so they get 70% of their salaries.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go from June 30th to October 31st.
Correct. Right there. This has basically already been shot down by the owners, but we're going through it. Because I think they actually put forth a good faith negotiation, right?
Yeah.
Rather than the owners who just do what we tell you to do. Be gone, peasants. No. This includes if there's a second wave, they've offered players making over $10 million of their full salary. Any amount over that, basically, would be deferred to the next 2 years.
Okay.
Plus interest. Gotta throw that in there, right?
Yeah.
Why not? I think the owners could latch on to that and be like, well, could you just defer more anyways? Like, all the time?
Right.
Because we're going to be losing money this year. So, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So right here, deferrals could be part of any offer, any counter from the league. Will be a part of any counter from the league. Other parts of the proposal, they've talked about this 14-team playoff, which at the time sounds stupid, and I'm going to bring that up. Payoff. No. Playoff. Playoff? What do I want? What do I want? I'm trying to... We'll just go with Bleacher Report. It's fine. It's fine. So here's how that works. Since it's been a while. This was back in the fall. I think it was back in the fall. No. This whole year has been so strange. It's like time warp. Okay? Every day feels like a month.
Yeah.
My God. Okay. So the teams with the best records in each league earn a bye and automatically advance to the Division Series round. They skip the wild card round. The other two division winners, because there's 3 divisions in each league, and the top wild card, so the next highest, the team with the next highest record,
Yeah.
after division winners, in both leagues, host a best of 3 series against the other 3 wild card entrants. And they said, yes, the division winner with the second best record, so the first one that doesn't get a bye, gets to choose who of the eligible wild card teams to play, which sounds really stupid.
Yeah.
And obviously, they don't have to go with all this, but just the general framework of the 14-team playoff, they can just go with that. And they would have that, like, a national TV selection series, like, thing. Big event, ESPN. The MLB playoff selection show. Right?
Yeah.
That's what they're hoping for. And probably no one would watch it. Just check the news, like, the next day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. And then from there, it'll narrow down to 4 teams in each league and just carry on like normal from there, basically. But the top team would be sitting around for potentially, like, your starter, like your number one starter, could not pitch for like a full week. If he doesn't pitch for like the third to last game. And then you have the selection show. And then you have the best of 3 series. And if it goes, the whole full length that it could be over a week by the time your number one starter has been pitched again. So now he's off schedule.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, oh, fuck that. It works out fine in Korea, though. The number one team goes straight to the Korea series, I believe. And then the 5th and the 4th team play each other. Then the winner of that plays the 3rd team. The winner of that plays the 2nd team. And then the winner of that goes to the Japan series. Or the Korea series. My bad. Right?
Yeah.
And usually the number one seed ends up winning anyways.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just freaking out about that for no reason whatsoever. Might be overblown. Who knows? So they're saying we'll include that in this year and we'll do it next year to give you more money next year to help offset your losses from this year.
The 14-team playoff.
Yes.
Okay.
More games in the playoffs mean more money.
Yeah. Because they'll be playing more games, essentially. So.
Right, and it's basically straight money right to the owners. They want another salary advance to help them get through spring training 2.0. Which really wouldn't, unless there's no season, wouldn't affect how much they're getting overall. It's just an advance on their money once again, like they've already gotten in back in March.
Yeah.
They've also offered to wear microphones during games. Possibly they could say, hey, Fox, or hey, ESPN, our players are wearing microphones now. Give us more money. Enhanced broadcast.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that would be.
Do more like mic it up sessions.
They're trying to be creative in ways to get some money for the owners to get this thing actually moving.
Yeah.
Rather than just being very uncreative and just saying, you give up your salary. Okay, but like what? They're saying we want our full salary, but in exchange we can do this. That's how negotiations work.
Yeah. Not, sorry, no, you got to do this.
Yeah.
Or nothing.
Obviously the All-Star game is not going to happen because we're only playing half a season anyways.
Yeah, we don't have time for that.
So they're saying, let's have it in the off season if you want, owners. More money for you.
Yeah, that'd be great. When people want baseball, it's like,
yeah,
just give them those 2 things, the All-Star and the Home Run Derby.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great right in the middle when it's the middle of football and everyone's like, I want baseball.
I mean, who knows what the time will be with this, but another creative way to try and get a little bit more money in there.
Yeah. Or like do that like in the middle or the end of spring training next year. You know, when they're like, when we're waiting for spring training to end so the season will start, give us something.
That's actually what Some college football coach said that they should have bowl games like in week 0, because there's week 0 in college football.
Yeah.
There's a few games played by like the MAC or whatever, just to get out there ahead of time. It's weird, but they're like, some college football coach like seriously suggested like, let's have bowl games then. And he had some fairly good reasoning for it. I can't remember all of it right now. It doesn't matter. Anyways, instead of at the end, because it's like who cares at that point about the fucking Boca Raton Bowl, you know?
Yeah.
But it'd be a nice little fun way to get the season started.
Yeah, I get that. But at the same time, it'd be weird to like hold off for that long.
It'd suck for the seniors.
Yeah.
You want the seniors to have that last game, you know, get out there.
Right.
Win one for the Gipper. All that. The other thing that we know of in this proposal from the union is players opting out. How that's going to be handled. So, if they've been determined to be of high risk themselves, these guys have had heart surgeries, have beaten cancer, etc., etc. Or if they live with someone, their wives, their kids, whatever, then they can opt out of playing in the season, receive their full salary and full service time. So then they're not like still a year away from being a free agent and getting that big contract. Here's the thing though. Ain't no one getting a big contract after the next offseason.
No.
Not with the way the owners are saying, we're losing so much money. Ooh. No way in hell anyone's getting a big contract. Which is just going to lead to more tension in the CBA negotiations. That'll be fun. In addition to that, though, players that are not deemed high risk but still would not like to play because of coronavirus, they can do that. They will not receive their salary, but they actually will get their service time.
So if their contract is ending, it's not like they're screwed over because they didn't play. It's like, right? Is that what?
Right.
Okay. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, they'll still move up a year on whatever contract they're on.
Yeah, but they just wouldn't get their money. Yeah.
Besides whatever they've already received in the salary advance that they already got. Okay. So that all happened. Here's another story about it. Once again, Craig Edwards, Fangraphs. This guy's all over this whole issue. The reason why I bring this up, he goes through the money pretty well here. Once again, he's kind of reiterating his old thing, looking at the $4 billion loss thing, kind of tearing it apart.
Yeah.
So the $4 billion, as we recall, came from the idea that Major League Baseball would lose $640,000 per game. You add it all up, you get to $4 billion, right?
Yeah.
He's saying, by his math, they'd actually make $170,000 per game, right?
Yeah.
So he's saying the owners actually also want more games, and in fact, he has not really a quote, but former Major League Baseball Players Association lawyer Gene Orza theorized in an athletic piece by Evan Drellick and Ken Rosenthal that Rob Manfred and the owners want more games just like the players do, but it's in their interest as a negotiating tactic to have the players ask for those games. Okay?
Mm-hmm. So, like, why is that, though? Like, why do they think they want the players to ask for them?
Because if the players are asking for the games, then they can give them up, even though they also want the games, right?
Yeah.
But it feels like the players are getting something. So then the
So it
owners
makes
can
them-
get something in
okay.
return
So-
when they're really getting two things that they want.
Yeah.
That's the idea that Mr. Gene Orza put out there. So you
Okay.
look at that, and then we get what we got today. And they're talking about 50 games.
What?
Now, there's more to it than meets the eye. I don't really fully understand it, though. But I'm just going to lay it out as best as I can. Again, Jeff Passan piece, just like the last one from ESPN. Basically, also, first of all, we started at 82. We went up 32 games to 114. Now we're going back 32 games to 50. I don't know what this 32 thing is, but it's there.
Wait, how do we go from 80?
82 was the original thing.
Oh, back. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because they didn't actually go to 114. Never mind. I was trying. I was like,
The player
114 to
suggested.
50 is not 32.
That'd be 64.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. All right. So, the 114 games would give them 70% of their original salaries. 50 would drop them down to 30. And if you recall that article we looked at last week, some of these players have already gotten around a quarter of their salaries.
Yeah. So,
Or was that the prorated salaries? That was the prorated. Still, this is not much better.
I thought it was. Oh,
Either way,
yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Still, 30% of your salary is like nothing.
So, anyways, what this 50 game schedule is about, right?
Uh-huh.
Is about the agreement back in March, which apparently had a clause in it, and we can read it here in a second, that basically gives Rob Manfred the right to just decide the schedule after good faith discussions between the league and the union have taken place.
Because the union had now gave theirs. Now it's a good faith.
I think theirs was in good faith. I don't think the owners have acted in good faith so far. But that's such
But they can deem themselves.
You
as
can't. Yeah. What's the proof for that? One way or another, right? They're acting like they are, so there you go, I guess. So here it is. Based on that feedback received from the Players Association, which we had just got, this is how the agreement in March went. So now that has been fulfilled, right? The Office of the Commissioner will construct and provide to the Players Association as promptly as possible a proposed 2020 championship season and postseason schedule, or multiple schedule options. Do that one if you're going to do this.
Yeah.
Using best efforts to play as many games as possible, which doesn't sound like 50 would be that.
No.
While taking into account player safety and health, rescheduling needs, competitive considerations, stadium availability, and the economic feasibility of various alternatives. So if you can't play in New York, then let's look at other stadiums. Perhaps their spring training facility or whatever. Minor league parks that are not being used. Something like that. In the first section of the agreement, under the resumption of play heading, it reads, by entering into this agreement, the Office of the Commissioner, the Players Association, the clubs, and players recognize that each of the parties shall work in good faith to, as soon as it is practicable, commence play and complete. I can't read. The fullest 2020 championship season and postseason that is economically feasible. 50 games.
Yeah, that doesn't make. Yeah. Like, if they're going to do anything, then just do the 82. Like, why did you reduce it even more?
They're saying this is a last-ditch effort. Basically, as I understand it, if, say, we still haven't come to an agreement by, like, late July, they can just implement this. You have 2 months until October. 50 games in 2 months. That's very, very doable.
Yeah.
So they're putting this out there like, okay, if you can't get your shit together, players union, we're just going to do this. They're playing playing hardball.
Yeah, so are the owners just going to drag it out till then?
If the players come up with something that sounds decent, or if they can both come together and come up with something that both sides can agree to, that's an option. Some clubs have come out and said, we'd be better off not playing a season at all. I don't buy that. I think that's just another hard negotiating tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's their counter offer is, oh, well, we agreed upon this in March.
This isn't really a counter offer per se. This is just them throwing that out there, that we can do this now. That's my understanding of it, based on the wording of the agreement.
So it's like a scare tactic, like kind of fold to what we want, or we're gonna go to this.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah. So there's that. I don't know.
I don't know. Just give me...
This sounds like, at the very least, we'll get 50 games of baseball.
I know, but I don't really want 50 games of baseball if it's going to screw the players over. You know?
They'll still get money.
I know, but...
It won't be much more than they've already gotten, probably. Maybe a little more. It'd be baseball.
We'll see. I know it would be baseball, but it'd feel like it would feel bad to me.
Sure.
Because it's like, sorry, we screwed you over until we got to this point, and now you have to play these 50 games because we agreed upon it.
Yeah. But that's where we're at now. We'll if they want to get the season started by early July, like they're talking, or June 30th, like the players are talking, they need to get this figured out this week.
Yeah. So they can start spring training 2.0.
Yeah.
Let's hope they can.
One more thing about the 114, it sounds like a lot, but when you look at June 30th to October 31st, I calculated this. It's 124 days between those two dates, including both dates, because there's going to be games on both dates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, 10 off days in, July, August, September, October.
4 months.
4 months, 10 off days, expanded rosters up to 30. That sounds very doable to me.
Yeah. And they could do some like double header days, and that could be even more than 10 days off.
Yeah, I read this one article on 538. It said, in a typical Major League season, we have 0.87 games per day. This would give you 0.92, as would the 82 game schedule that was originally proposed. So it's not any more difficult on the players on a per day basis. It's going longer though, so maybe still expanded rosters. I don't think you even need double headers if you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
If you want to get up to like 1 game per day territory, then yes, you can have a situation where 7-day week, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have 1 off day in a week and 1 double header in that week. That'll give you 7 games. It doesn't sound like anyone wants to do that though.
No.
So this is where we're at.
Yeah.
Just a little more information about how this stacks up to a regular schedule, kind of.
Right.
We can't really do that with the 50 games because we don't know when it would start and when it would end.
Right.
That's not even been thrown out there. But we can assume that could be a pretty relaxed thing if they start it in August. That's so long away, though. All right. That's where we're at.
Wash your hands.
Don't go riot. Stay safe out there, everyone. Let's just say that.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands mostly. Bye.
Bye.